Ladies and gentlemen, hustlers of all ages, welcome to the Six Figure Playbook with your host, Alan, the Ace Man Dickie.
Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, good whatever time it is where you're listening. This is Alan Dickie, aka the Ace Man, and you're tuned in to another episode of the Six Figure Playbook. Welcome back, everybody. You know, I'm really excited about this week's topic, and this week's topic is never forget where you came from. Let me say it again, never forget where you came from. I got a word today to all of you listeners, to all my salespeople, to all my business owners, to all my entrepreneurs. I have a word for you. Never forget where you came from, okay? And the reason I'm saying never forget where you came from is simple. You know, a lot of times in your journey as a sales representative, a commission sales representative, as a business owner, as an entrepreneur, it is a lonely path. I mean, a lot of friends and family like to pat you on the back and give you words of encouragement, etc. But at the end of the day, you're the one who's going to sleep at night dealing with the stresses of, is my funnel filled? Do I have enough appointments tomorrow? Am I positioned to be successful, close business, and generate revenue for myself and my family, right? That lays on you. I'm going to share a story with you, a personal experience, and I'm going to do so in the name of keeping you highly motivated and inspired and to continue to press forward for everything it is you demand out of your life. You see, I'm thinking today of about 9.5 years ago, or it was around that, 8.5, 9.5, something like that. And I'm thinking about the infancy of my business. I'm thinking about a time where it was so important to me to make this work. You know, when you have something in your gut, as all of you do, listen, all of you on the sales floor, all of you hustling and grinding every day to achieve your desired results, you understand what it is. You've got that burning desire inside of you that wants more and wants to be accountable on your ability to create more. Well, when that was going on with me, I remember, I had left my career in the automotive industry, right, making a more than comfortable six-figure income, and I left it because I could not shake this thing inside of my soul. And so as I was moving forward and building my business, I'll never forget, I had to eat still. I had to produce revenue for myself, for my family, and not everybody in the world is really listening to the pitch of, hey, I've got a company right now that's going to change the lives of you and your people. Lean on the pen here and let's move forward. It wasn't that easy. Although I would argue maybe sometimes it was. But anyways, back to the story. I remember creating networking groups, right? I created networking groups because I thought to myself, here's an idea. I'm in the automotive sales industry. By creating networking groups, I'll be able to tap into a bunch of other professionals. And by doing so, I'll be able to generate leads and referrals that I will then in turn be able to flip into business, car deals that I could close and receive a commission off of. So in setting up these groups, I would have to go into stores and businesses cold and basically say, hey man, I've got this idea about an amazing way to drive leads and referrals to one another, to like-minded professionals, no two being the same. And let me tell you about it because I think you should be a part in it. Now, here's the thing. When I was doing this, I teach people how to do this exactly, the exact techniques on how to accomplish it in my ACE lead generation program, www.alandickie.com/lead gen. There's the plug. But I teach people this and 7 other streams in there. But this particular one, I teach people how to set up these groups and how to operate them effectively that are guaranteed to generate leads, business, and opportunity. I mean, for me, each group I had averaged about $15,000 in commissions. But here was the catch, is I was also charging membership fees, $300 a head to be a part of my group. The reason I'm telling you this story is simple. Never forget where you came from. Because what I did is I had to go in to a number of various businesses and I had to tell them about this idea I had. I knew it would work, but there's always going to be a challenge in finding like-minded individuals, especially when you're the minority. And by minority, I'm talking about being an individual who wants to be in control of his future, and I'm going to do that through performance. But anyways, the short version was, for every 10 businesses I went into, I would have 7 to 8 businesses laugh, scoff at me. I remember filling up one group of 15 people, and I'm pretty confident I had to talk to 100 different businesses to get that group put together. I remember going into floral shops where I looked at these people and I suggested, hey, because even networking for that is effective with social media. Don't get me started. Again, I do it all in my program. But I would go into these floral shops, and I remember a lot of the times they would look at me like I was that punk salesman, like I was some punk salesman going door to door, like it was some loser, something I should be ashamed of. I remember looking at their faces thinking to myself, you and your life are rotting away in this building 16 hours a day or 14, whatever it is, for 40 grand a year, and you're looking at me like I'm that guy? I remember feeling offended by it. I remember going for failure. I remember all of the hard work that I had put in, and the stories are endless, I mean, that I could share with you. But this particular one, I remember these businesses looking at me, but I also remembered that there would be a day. I remembered that sight is the greatest enemy of vision. I remembered the fact that I knew that I had made a commitment and a decision to achieve my desired results, regardless of what obstacles were put in front of me. And it's for that reason I continue to move forward. Never forget where you came from, people. I remember talking to 100 businesses and getting shut down by 85 of them in the name of finding 15 that would make the plan work. Never forget where you came from, folks. Six-figure listeners, people, the message this week is simple. Regardless of your grind, regardless of what it is you're going through, know you're going through it for a reason and for a purpose. That purpose is greatness. That purpose is the design, the accountable design of your life, right? The one that you refuse to be a victim in, and the one that you are going to control the outcome of. Folks, never forget where you came from. If today is the first day in your business, the first day as an entrepreneur, your first day on the sales floor at the big dealership, okay? It doesn't matter. Understand you've made a decision to accomplish what you're going to accomplish. Understand that sight is the greatest enemy of vision, because you know who you are, you know what your calling is, and you know that's the exact reason you're operating in the field you're operating in. Never forget where you came from. I'm here to remind you, I'm never forgetting where I came from, because where I came from was the grind upon all grinds, and I look back and love every single ounce of it, because that is the true joy that I have in building what I've built now, in building a business where my phone rings and I can't keep up with the calls because enough value has been displayed, demonstrated, provided to the marketplace that the marketplace is begging to take advantage of it. And supply and demand takes over. For me, as it can and will in all of your careers, when you create a massive amount of opportunities to not only afford failure, but to prove just how great your product, service, thought, idea, or concept is. Ladies and gentlemen, that's me. That's this week's episode. I want to encourage all of you, never forget where you came from. You came from a place where you had to take a jump, take a leap, and make a decision that you were going to be accountable for your outcomes in your life. Salespeople, business owners, all entrepreneurs, all of you, I salute you. Make it a great day, everybody. This is Alan Dickie, over and out, and I'll see you next week.